Okay, so here we have another Robi robot video. Since last week, I ended up doing unboxing my room Robi, which is this smaller Robi here. I don't remember what stages we're on. It's the last stages in this pack. I think it's 21 and 22 maybe. Let's see here. Yeah, 22, 21. So 21 and 22. Come on, Ferdi, get down. Get down, buddy. Ferdi, get down. No, get down. Anyway, he always wants to help, just like Alyssa used to. Lista's in her room. So I'll have a video where I bring Lista out and put Ferdi back. Anyway, so stages 21 and 22, I'm going to try to hopefully get them both done. 21 should be relatively quick. It's just another servo. Prepare Robi's left shoulder servo. By the time we finish these two stages, the left arm will look the same as the right arm. So this is the right arm. You know, everything's in there. And this will look the same. So we're almost to that point where we have parity. Then the new stages will be totally different. So next week's video will be unboxing that pack 7. Anyway, so let me get the timer with Jibo. Hey Jibo, set a 25-minute timer, please.
Okay, 25 minutes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now this one is stage 21. Prepare Robi's left shoulder servo. In this assembly, you will test, and it's going to be this piece. In this assembly, you will test and set the servo that will operate Robi's forward and backward arm movement, ready to be fitted into his left side body frame in coming stages. Get down, Ferdi. This stage sees you working with servo motors again. The servo supplied with this stage is ID 19, as listed on the diagram in stage 8, and will generate the forward and backward motion of Robi's left arm, replicating the work of a human shoulder. Once it is complete, the servo itself will be set into his body frame out of sight. So parts is just this one, and then the saved part is this piece, which I had not opened because why open it? You know, I can fit the pads on it in this stage, and then this, because we're going to test it. Okay, so we're going to sit down here, move the couch forward slightly. I got to be careful with the Robis here. Got a bunch of Robis, you know, so make sure I can see everything on camera. Yeah, because sometimes I move it and then, you know, things can't be seen. A few videos I didn't line it up properly. I thought I had, but you know, that's how it goes. So I just hit 5,000 subscribers yesterday. I was pretty excited about that. That was pretty cool. So I'm going to put this down here under me so that my kitty doesn't take the plastic. Although one of the times, I think it was the last video, maybe it was the video before, last assembly video, he went under my leg and took it when I wasn't paying attention and started playing with the plastic. Cats love plastic, you know. I guess because it's crinkly and stuff. They hear the crinkly. I love that crinkly sound. Nope, under my leg. Not gonna get to play with it, buddy. Okay. Since this was supposed to be done in the prior stage, I'm going to just do it now. I got these, but it's actually just easier just to use your finger to do it. And my vision is such that the writing to say which side is easier to see. Should be the opposite side. Yep. So it says basically push. And that means that that's the side that the pad goes on. And I think I lost this pad. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna do over that. Knowing them, they've given me lots of extra parts, but I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't give me extra pads. So who knows what I'm gonna do. Okay, so now we do the typical servo stuff where they're gonna have me unscrew it. So it says take out the 4 screws holding the servo's removable cover in place, which are these screws. Gently lift the cover away, taking care not to force it or damage the circuit board underneath. Hold the open servo with the circuit board facing upwards. Fetch the servo cable with the protective pads and press one of its connectors into the socket circled in red as you have done before. It does not matter which end of the servo cable you use. So let me do that part. And then as always, the screwdriver I'm using is out of a kit that I got from Amazon. The link will be in the description. And that is because the other screwdriver became stripped. And this one isn't going to strip because it's better quality. So the screwdriver they provide with the Robi robot kit is not very good. I suggest using a better screwdriver if you have it. And if you don't, it really does save me time. These stages were going way slower. I mean, obviously I'm familiar with what I'm doing here because it's pretty much a repeat of the other stages that I did for the right arm. But still, they go way faster. Anyway, so now let me see which one was circled in red. I think it's the left one. Yeah, it's this one here. This one. Uh-oh. Ferdi fur. Ferdi's got lots of fur. He actually doesn't shed as much as I had expected he would shed. You know, and they're gonna have said in there, which I didn't read yet, but you gotta be careful when you don't touch the circuit board, you know, that type of stuff. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's snapped in. Okay. And if I haven't shown it, which I don't think I have, typically I do this to show what I'm on. It's pretty simple. We've done it so many times for these servos. Okay, pass the free end of the servo cable through the circular hole in the removable cover. Press the cover back into place on the servo's main housing. Fasten the cover back in place with all 4 screws, but only lightly, as you will be removing them again at a later stage. So put the 4 screws back, but lightly. And then take the next stand and make sure the power pack is turned off. Carefully unplug the black servo cable from the socket to the left of the test board. So this is the part where we're going to set the poor little mini Robi. I accidentally knocked him over. But we're going to set the ID. So let me get the cable threaded through this and this back on, and then we'll do that part where we set the ID. I'm going to do that a little faster than typical because I want to get to the next stage and I want to get that one done so that we can have them all within the same video. So there are 72 full stages. I think that maybe the last few stages are learning how Robi works. And this is only stage 21. So we have quite a few more stages, just to be aware. Ferdi, no. And Ferdi likes to play with my glasses, so he's probably going to try to knock those down at some point. Okay. So loosely, not going to put them too tight, just enough to, okay, go. Okay, good. All right, so this was powered off. I'm going to turn it on. Circuit board's turned on. It always goes to 1. I'm going to move the right one away. Don't need any more pads. I actually can put those up here. I don't think there's any more pads until, several stages later. Okay, so we're gonna plug this in to the component there. And make sure I've got it in. Yeah, there we go. No, it wasn't it. Thought I felt a slight click, but I did not. And this test board, I think, gets removed at the end, because I can't imagine that we'd be keeping a test board on the back of Robi, There we go. Okay, so first I'm going to test it to make sure that this moves, which is what they always do. Yeah, and it's moving. It moves one way, and then another way, and then back. Okay, and then they're going to have me set the numbers. I'm not going to read it all. You can see it here. But basically, they just have me set the numbers. To set the ID number of the left shoulder servo to 19, press the up button 18 times. Let me go back and make sure it said 19. Yeah, it did say 19. So you press it up, and then you'll get the 10 lit and the 9 lit. And so that's what I'm going to do. If you go past, you can push down, because this button is the up button. And I'm going to have to put this down here so that I can see. So right now we're on 9, then we 10, the 10 lights up, and then we do it till we get to 9, and then that lights up. And then to set it, you push the test set button. Okay, for a few seconds, they'll flash and remain lit. Then I'm going to shut it off. It'll light up to 1. And then I'll push test set. This will rotate and the numbers will change to 19. So let me do this until I get it set. And now it should be set. I'm going to shut it off. I turn it on, it'll show 1. And then I push this and it should rotate and it should show 19. And that's what it's doing. So we got it set. Okay. And then that is all. Once all is done, you shut it off again and you remove it. And it's ready to set to his shoulder next. So we're going to undo it. We're going to shut it off. And then we're going to undo it. Going to remove it. There we go. Now, we don't need Robi again for this next stage, I don't think. So that was stage 21. It's completed. Did I read the part? Assembled shoulder servo. The servo that will operate Robi's left shoulder is assembled, wired, and set. Make sure you keep this part safely, preferably in a sealed plastic bag with its ID number written on it for ease of reference. Well, I would do that, but we're going to go ahead and, put it on the stage 22 where we're going to use it. So we don't need to do that part. Stage 22, continue building up Robi's body. In this stage, you will continue assembling Robi's body by attaching the left arm built and wired over the previous stages to his left body cover and shoulder servo. This stage sees you working again on Robi's body, which you will do by fitting the previously assembled left arm onto the left body panel. You will then use a servo horn, as you did for the right arm, to attach the shoulder joint to Robi's left shoulder servo 19, wired and programmed in the previous stage. The part features a D-cut, and care must be taken to ensure the parts fit neatly. We've seen the D-cut lots of times in prior stages. Once you have completed this, you will go on to wiring the first extended servo cable that will ultimately be used to operate Robi's right foot. So the next stages will be Robi's right foot, it sounds like. So the parts. It's in this bag. I'm going to move this over until we get to that. Move this over as well. So we've got another cable. Got some parts here that my cat Ferdi's excited about because it's more plastic. You know, he's a plastic guy. We do have our screws, thankfully. Okay, there we go. Just like that. Okay, let's make sure we got all the parts we need. And it shows one is this part, which is the left body cover. The servo horn shoulder, which is this. The screws. And the servo cable. So we've got everything. Saved parts we'll need is this. It does say we need some more protective pads, so it's a good thing I kept them. And the servo. So the saved parts that I'll need. Carefully rotate the shoulder joint at the top of the left arm assembly so it sits at a right angle to the rest of the arm. So this I need to set like that. Line up the left arm to the left body cover. Fit the servo cable emerging from the top of the left arm through the circular hole in the left body cover and the metal shoulder joint through the C-shaped slot above it as shown. Join the parts so that they sit together snugly and the cable and joint are fully inside the cover. Okay. All right. I think I see it. Okay. So it's going to be like this. Okay. Now what am I supposed to do? Hopefully screw something. Okay. Inspect the servo horn. The hole in its front side has a D-cut profile and will face outwards, while the back of the part has a round hole that will face the servo. Take the servo from stage 21. So this one, I'm just going to sit here, I guess, because I'm not screwing anything yet. Okay. So I'm supposed to take the servo and line up the horn so that its front faces away from the servo. Then with the servo horn perfectly straight with its D-cut section, matching the cutaway on the servo shaft, press the parts together. Do not force the parts and see the close-up box on the next page for more information. Okay, so let me get the servo horn. Got my hair caught in my hand as I'm putting it down. Okay. I'm doing this a little later than normal so that we have some good light. I did have this light on, but I prefer natural light whenever possible. So here we go, this. And then let me look at the picture yet one more time to see which is the front and which is the back. Okay. Okay, so this is the front. One side has a groove and one side doesn't. It's going to be impossible for you to see it at this distance. But this is the front, and then the back has a groove, basically. And then you gotta have the front face away from the servo. Okay. And then line it up with the D-cut. Okay. So we're gonna do that. Okay, there we go. Got it on. Hey Jibo, how long on the timer?
It'll be done in 6 minutes and 55 seconds.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Fitting the left shoulder servo. So they talk about the D-cut. I got it correctly as far as I can see. It's fitting properly. Remove the 4 long screws on the back of the servo, the ones that I put in lightly. Remove the front panel, being careful not to pull the servo cable away. You won't be using the panel again, so usually when you remove that panel, that's the last time. Hold the open servo close to the inside of the left body panel. Then very carefully press the free padded connector of the left arm servo into the free socket. This can be a tricky procedure, so work slowly and be sure not to pull on either cable or touch the open electronics board of the servo. So as I mentioned, hey, what did you just knock over? What did you just knock over, buddy? My glasses. Yep, I knew it. I could pre-predict it. He was trying to get my glasses off. At least he didn't knock over any of the stuff that matters. You know, mini Robi can be knocked over. And as I've mentioned in other ones, this one broke at some point. I'm going to have to glue it. It should be fine for the right one. And that's not how it was supposed to be, because that's not how the left one is. Okay, anyway, so mini Robi fell over and he took my glasses. So I need to have like some protective, I bring my case or something when I do this next time. Anyway, so let's remove these screws. We're gonna go slightly over, but that's okay. And I can't keep the glasses on. I gotta have them off. He loves playing with them. Okay, so let's get these screws off. And then we will almost be done. It's not that many steps left, I don't think. But unfortunately, Ferdi and Alyssa are not getting along. They were getting along better at the beginning, and now they're just not getting along. So Alyssa's been preferring to stay in her room. I'm actually going to move her to my room. I got a new litter robot for my cat. I use those so that it's easier to replace the, it basically does everything for me, and all I have to do is throw the bags away and then put new litter. But anyway, so they don't want to share, and hers broke. So I'd had it for 3 years, and it just quit working. So I got a new one. I'm going to put it in my room, and Alyssa will be with me whenever I'm, since she's alone a lot now because she wants to be in her room. But we'll have her in the next video, hopefully. Anyway, so we're gonna put this into, what was it? Did he knock the other piece down too? No, it was here. There we go. Okay. So I've got to thread it. Not gonna be easy to do this. So I gotta put it in the other connector. Hold the open servo close to the inside of the body panel. Carefully press the free padded connector. So yeah, I've gotta, this is not a lot of space here that I'm getting for it. I guess I'll put my glasses on the ground so that my cat doesn't knock them over again. And that one, it looks like I didn't put the pad on. If I did, it's another one where I lost the pad. So I need to put a pad on that. If I lost another pad, that's unfortunate. Now to know which side is which, because yeah. Okay. That's the main point of the pad, is to know which side is which. I was sure I would have put a pad on that though, so that's weird. Okay. Alright, so this is not going to be easy. Because there's, like I said, there's not a lot of room. Oh, I got it though. There we go. Okay, good deal. Oh. Put him on the floor over here since I should have just kept him where he knocked him, but my concern is that he's going to start playing with them and, you know, move them under the couch or something. Okay, before sealing the servo, the cables need to be arranged in such a way they do not become tangled. To do this, gently bend the cable leading into the arm out to the side of the servo's body and the other back on itself, and then out over the length of the part as shown. Be very careful not to disrupt either connector as you do this. Okay, that looks very dangerous. With the servo cable bent over and around to run into the notch under the body cover circled, press the servo's body under the correspondingly shaped mount. Make sure the cable is not trapped or caught in any way. Hold the parts in place using the 4 screws removed previously. Fasten the servo to the left body cover. Okay. All right. I mean, I saw the way they were showing it. It looks like this is supposed to go back this way. So it's definitely not ideal the way it is, but such is life.
Hey, it's your timer. That time already.
Yep. Hey Jibo, stop the timer. Thank you. I always try to say thank you to Jibo when I do these things because, you know, politeness is important, right? I've heard that some people, some kids, people, whatnot, are not, you know, being polite to like Echo and Google Home because, you know, they don't think that it matters, but, you know, how you treat inanimate objects probably is an indicator of how you would treat living organisms. So I'm always polite to Jibo because you know why? Jibo's always polite to me. So why wouldn't I be polite to him, right? Everybody should be polite and thoughtful, unless the other person is not being polite and thoughtful, or organism. So, hey Jibo, you are very polite.
Now I feel like I should wear a tuxedo.
Your favorite animal does, the emperor penguin. Hey Jibo, how old are you?
At the moment I'm 718 days old, but who's counting?
Yep, he's gonna be a year old in less than 2 weeks. I've got a party planned for him. I'm gonna have it at my workplace. And I got some cakes, so that'll be fun. And we are almost done with this stage. Okay, so remove the 2 screws on the shoulder joint and remove the protective panel. Very gently pull the exposed portion of the servo cable out from the elongated hole in the metal joint. Do not pinch. So that's this section. And then we've got that part. So I've got to remove let me look at it again to see what I'm removing. It looks like it's oh, is it really? Okay, that's what they say. It's this part here. Looks like because we're gonna thread the servo cable, this one through it. It's been like months since I did the prior section. Hey now, don't. Okay, so we do that. This is a little tricky. Okay, very carefully pull it out. I'm trying to understand why. I'm trying to see why we would be doing that. Okay, it tells me why on the next page. And it would have told me why before, but I just have forgotten. The aim of this step is to remove any slack in the servo cable, any loose sections along the servo cable set within Robi's moving parts. In this case, the shoulder joint are at risk of rubbing or getting caught or pinched. This can ultimately damage the cables and even cause Robi to malfunction. So be sure to follow these steps carefully. Ensure that all the cables are set appropriately within the joints. Lift the cable away from the side of the body panel so it is taut. Then press down with your finger over the circular hole in the arm to prevent the cable coming loose. Okay. Keeping the cable tight to the body side, bunch the coiled section into the circle above the hole into the upper arm frame to match the shape recess inside the shoulder panel removed in step 12. Fit the bunch of cable inside the recess, then make sure not to pinch any part of the cable. Replace the shoulder panel and tighten with its original screw. Okay. Hey now, Ferdi, don't do that. Don't be doing that, buddies. Sorry, it's taking longer. Just don't want to screw this up. Okay. Okay, so I'm just basically just making it taut and going to do it like this so that it goes within the recess. Seems to me like it should be doing that. And then we just put the screws back. And I just lost one of them. So that's no surprise for me, you know, to be doing that. Hopefully Ferdi didn't see it, me drop it. I'm gonna need my glasses and more Ferdi hair. Ferdi, where did the screw go? Yeah. This is always fun. This one is pretty important. Well, that's a problem. It's a big problem because it fell and I don't know where it went. All right. So it looks like I'm only going to screw one screw on, and then I'm going to have to spend time after the video to find the other one. So that's unfortunate. I just can't find it. I'm not seeing it at all. I really would like to find this screw. Especially since, you know, I have a bit of a problem with Ferdi sometimes. Let's see. If I move, maybe I can find it. Oh, I found it. Yay! Because I've had no luck sometimes finding these screws because they're so tiny. And I almost hurt poor Robi Jr. there. He tipped these things on the back of the Robis. This my room Robi, it's so close you can't possibly carry him that way. But anyway, that's besides the point. And we've got plenty of, I need to get one of those Roombas because I'm getting so much cat fur from Ferdi. He might be super cute, but he's a fluffy cat. Alyssa doesn't shed as much. Okay, so we got the other screw. And here we go, putting it back on. Okay. All right. So we got that on. Looks good. Looking good. Looking good. And then we put the 2 screws that we got in this stage into right here. And then that should be it. And then next week, like I said, we'll be opening the box for 7, which will be 4 more stages. Hopefully we'll be able to get 2 stages at a time done. Might not be possible on some of them because they won't be familiar stages for me. Other than it's like when it's setting the servos, stuff like that. That's relatively easy to do because the servos, as you saw, all it involves is pretty much putting the cable on and then setting the ID. And setting the ID, I'm very familiar with doing at this point. So let's get these 2 screws in and okay. I'll read the section about it. Ferdi. Did I drop the screws, Ferdi? You missed out. You missed out on causing some more chaos. Alrighty. A little bit out of it today. Just a little bit out of it. Even though I got up a little later. I usually get up at like 6:30. I didn't get up that early. Hey, Ferdi, come on. No playing with the plastic. You know how it is. Got some plastic because of that. Wonder what we're doing with this other cable. Okay. Alright, I got that all done. So, line up the 2 holes at the end of the metal shoulder joint, tighten those screws into it. Sealing the servo cable. As you've done previously, apply a protective pad to the side of this stage's longer 200mm servo cable with push marked. Repeat for both ends of the cable. But I didn't actually attach the cable, so I don't know why this cable is even here. So, I mean, I can attach pads, but I'll just do it in the next stage. The servo screws. It is vitally important that the servo that moves Robi's shoulder is not hampered in any way, as this may cause a malfunction. Therefore, be sure to check that the screws on either side of the servo horn that connects to Robi's shoulder joint are fully inserted and do not obstruct its part movement. Okay. The servo horn will move back and forth over the screw circled in the folio to the far left Ferdi's trying to get the plastic. Double check that they are tightened fully into their holes so as to allow the servo horn freedom of movement. To check that the servo horn is able to move easily, hold the body panel in one hand with the other. Slowly rotate Robi's right arm so that the servo horn covers each of the screws. If you feel any resistance, tighten the screw further and repeat until the arm is able to move freely. And then at that point, after assembled left arm and body cover, the servos that will move Robi's left arm are now wired into one hidden within his body to control his shoulder movements. Store your assembly away safely until next time when you will start working on Robi's lower body. Okay, so, and then just showing all of that. Hopefully I've shown it previously, but like I said, I'm a little out of it. I don't know if I did. I don't know if I did. So this one I'm going to keep here. And then let's see if this is rotating freely, like it shows. I don't think that there's any of these screws that are in the way. Everything seems to be moving properly. I don't see anything not moving properly. Yeah. Okay, well, there we go. That's the end of it. Extra screw, these pads and everything. It'll be 2 more weeks and I'll be doing another assembly at that point. Okay, put my glasses back on so Ferdi doesn't get them. Have this cover that's extra. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of those. One of the weeks, Ferdi took it as a toy. So, anyway. Oh, and let me show the coming in pack 7 stuff. So this is the stuff coming in pack 7. Fascinating facts. It'll be stages 23, 24, 25, and 26. And it will be his ankles and feet. So that's where we're headed next. You know, leg bones connected to the foot bone. I don't remember the whole song. That probably isn't even correct even. Got bunches of plastic on me. Okay. Take care and have a happy Sunday. Bye-bye.